Yo, what's up, Silent Cypher? Let's get it. Yeah! We'll start in a little bit. Enjoy yourself. Grab a drink. Get a little nightcap going. We'll start soon. Thanks for being here, buddy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. I am your host, the Dusty One himself, the Dusty Uno, but you may call me Dusty. This is P.O.G, episode 5. We're here on my personal channel. This is where all podcast episodes will be going forward. Just figured it would be better to resurrect the channel I was originally trying to build. But here we are. We feeling good. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day. We got fun speculation in the chat. Holy crap. Thank you so much, brother, for being here. We got G maybe in the chat. Holy crap. Thank you so much for being here. We got the brother Silent Cypher. Punty050 for stopping through. Woo! Let's get it. Happy to see everybody. Don't forget to hit that like button. Hit subscribe. If you're enjoying the vibe, whether it's the replay or it's the live. I said that out of order from how I normally say it. Anyway, so let's get it going. Let me introduce my special guest for the evening. He is my somebody who's like a big bro to me. First in the gaming industry, and then we got closer, you know, through Discord and whatnot. And I would say he's like a genuine big bro now. And he's, you know, I think of him like family. He is an excellent content creator. He is the host and creator of Game Tech Planet on YouTube. Please subscribe to his channel. I shall try to do my best to update the description in one of these videos. Oh my god. But I will leave a link. And while the discussion is going, I'll try to leave a link to his channel in the chat. He does great content creation on GeForce Now. He covers great updates and news on, you know, handhelds such as the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. He's just an all-around great family man, and I'll let him tell a little bit more about himself. So without further ado, my big bro, I introduce to all of you Game Tech Planet. How you doing, big brother?
I'm doing good. There's nothing left. You can't hype it that hard before I come in. I'm definitely not all of that, but I am some of that. And yeah, it's Wednesday, man. Like you said, hump day. So feeling good to be here. I appreciate the invite. It's been a little while since I got to go live or do a podcast, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I'm glad. I'm very thankful and happy that you joined me, because like I miss watching you podcast. I think you're really good at it, and you have great insight. You have a good voice for radio, as they would say. Excuse me, I'm like burping over here. And you know, I understand that, you know, things got a little busy and whatnot, so you had to kind of pull back from that. But to see you back here with me, you know, us doing our thing together again, because I think the last time you and I podcasted together was what, on CGX podcast?
I think so. It was one of our last ones, actually. You're close to the end of it, I believe.
Geez, that was what, last year?
At least, yeah. Yeah, we had that going for like 2 years straight, yeah.
Oh man.
It was fun. That was crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Longest stretch of shows I've ever consistently done and been on, you know, at CGX. It was an awesome time, really, with everybody every week.
Appreciate you too, Punty. Glad to see you here, brother. Stay as long as you can. You know, I know you gotta head out and whatnot, but, you know, chill on out. Fun speculation, Mav. Shout out to you. Good family. One thing I wanted to say before we get into everything is let me and everybody in the chat know, like, how are you doing? How is life treating you post lockdown COVID life, so to speak? You know, how's everything going?
Definitely prefer the post lockdown situation. Of course, I think everybody does. It's, you know, that wore thin pretty fast. But you know, other than that, it's you know, we're halfway through summer already and getting my son ready for second grade already, which is nuts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yup, it's busy time at work. For those that don't know, my main thing is I have a construction business I've had most of my life, so I'm usually doing that. And when I'm not doing that, I'm making content usually for 1 or 2 or 3 channels, depending. So, but yeah, for the most part, everything's going great. Trying to plan out some good things for Deck and Ally coming up. It's been a little dry. Like July was just weird. I felt like, I don't know, in gaming and handhelds and news, I just felt like July was kind of weird. And I feel like August might be a good time to kind of try to get the ball rolling again and get ready for all these fall games that we're going to be getting for Xbox, which is going to include PC, handhelds, GFN, other cloud services, because we know Microsoft, they're putting all their games everywhere.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. And tomorrow, you know, we'll actually talk about this a little bit, because I didn't want to. If people don't know, GTP, which is Game Tech Planet's rapper name, he he creates, like I said earlier, he creates content for NVIDIA GeForce Now. And if you don't know, every Thursday morning at 6 a.m. PST or PDT, which is my time, the news blog drops every Thursday and features the games coming for the week of GeForce Now. But at the beginning of every month, the first Thursday of every month, we get the news blog of all the games coming, with exceptions to surprises or features, you know, different things. Things can kind of change up, this or that. So because of that, GTP creates content for that. And I cannot ask him certain questions because he's under embargo, like every Wednesday night until Thursday morning. So I'm not allowed to ask him. And trust me, I try all the time. But
I mean, you're right about the roadmap. So, you know, we always have something in the beginning of the month. So that's exciting. But I'm actually still working on that video. So I'll be doing that later on.
Well, I can't wait to see that video. I will share it on Twitter. I will share it in the Discord. I also have a Discord. I will try to share that link as well in the description. I'm laughing at myself because I suck at updating my description. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I suck. But I will share that video out because you do create, like I said, very good content, and I feel like more people need to see it. Aren't you on your way to like 20,000 subscribers, or did you breach that already?
Not yet. No, like 19.5 now or something like that.
Let's get my boy Let's get my boy Game Tech Planet to 20K. All right, let's get me to 1K. All right, we're on our way. This is my personal channel, so yes, let's get to 1K.
Most important number in YouTube. I don't care what anybody says.
All right, forget Game Tech Planet. You guys can subscribe to him later. Get me to 1K.
Subscribe to the Dusty one and get 1K first, because that's the important one.
Yes. Oh, dude, shout out to Jojo Narok in the chat, bro. We got to get you on the show. If you're free right now, get in the Discord. Well, I couldn't get to him until I got super busy, and I even realized you were the only person I had hit up. And I know for Jojo it's hard at the last second for him, but if he's free and he's got like a couple of minutes to talk some gaming, he can jump in. Anybody, you know, you too, Mav. Shoot, you're always welcome on this show, bro. For those of you that don't know, there are a lot of podcast channels that inspire me and have inspired me to do what I'm doing right now. So one of them is in the chat, and that is Fun and Speculation. So shout out to you, Mav. Much love, much respect to you and yours. And thank you for being one of the creators that I was like, you know what? I can do this too. And I can do this again. So let me come back. And Game Tech Planet as well. He's somebody I messaged a lot and was like, yo, I think I'm ready to come back. I think I'm ready to come back. Okay, I'm coming back. And he always gave me the patience, you know, so. Go ahead, bro.
YouTube comes with its set of struggles, and everybody kind of has their own, and sometimes people have to step away and come back. Sometimes they don't. I've stepped away and come back in small portions, but nobody really knows because I have so many videos that even if I take 2-3 days off, nobody necessarily notices. As long as I have something coming up, you know, so because I'm at like 1,000 something videos I've made myself in the past 3 years. So, but yeah, especially in the beginning, I mean, the struggle can be real. I remember even just trying to get to my first 250 subscribers was 6 months of drudgery. But then, you
Yeah.
know, I found better ways to go about things that made me happier and also made the videos better.
So the one thing to circle back to GeForce Now, and by the way, I appreciate you, bro. But and I appreciate you too, Mav. Thank you. I will keep it up as best as I can. I'm at least being consistent on Wednesdays. The idea was supposed to have Wednesdays and Sundays, and right now I've only been able to do Wednesdays because every time I try to go live on Sunday, the wife wants to do something. So yeah, there's that life. So but it's been good on Wednesdays, and I'm liking it. But the question I wanted to ask you, since you're under embargo until Thursday morning, tomorrow, I wanted to ask you one question in regards to this month in comparison to August in comparison to July. Do you feel like, in regards to the FTC and the CMA and all of the stuff that Microsoft has had to go through with them, do you feel like that put a hindrance on games coming in the month of July compared to the month of August? And the reason I asked that question, for those of you that don't know, NVIDIA GeForce Now posted on their Twitter earlier today, sorry I don't have the image for you right now, that, you know, there's going to be a lot of surprises coming, or a few surprises that they have in store for the month of August. So for you already know what's coming, because you're making a video on it. So obviously July was kind of a slower month. Some even would even say a shitty month, a dry month for GeForce Now. But do you feel like this whole ABK deal kind of put a slowdown on that for NVIDIA GeForce Now, and even for other cloud services?
I think that, well, first, it's a pretty big question, but yeah. I think that Microsoft's focus had to be a lot to do with the ABK deal and the case, and I mean, for a deal that big, all hands on deck for that. So the things they were doing out there, making 10-year contracts for cloud and things like this, were separate from ABK, because those cloud deals will include Call of Duty if they get it, and it won't if they don't, and things like that. But the 10-year cloud deal is for all of the Microsoft games, first-party games, whether they got ABK or not. So that's two separate things, but those deals did happen because of the ABK case. Microsoft probably wouldn't have came out offering 10-year deals to everyone, including Nintendo, if the CMA at the time wasn't so on the fence, and they thought those were going to push them over, but it didn't, and the CMA still shot that down. So while they're kind of linked, because the deals, I think, came about because of the case mostly, they're still not necessarily linked. Whether they, even if ABK deal never closed, even if they never got Activision Blizzard or anything, those deals would still exist. Nintendo wouldn't get Call of Duty, of course, but they might get other Xbox games. GFN would still get all first-party titles eventually, because we know that's the plan. I would say I think that June and July were dry for gaming in general, and dry for cloud, like real dry for cloud. And if I were comparing that without saying much, I would just say that I think August could be, you know, at least a start in the right direction for us gaining some momentum again going into the fall.
Yeah. Jojo had a good point. He thinks that ABK even slowed down Gamepass releases, he'd say. And because of that, it hindered GFN a little. I feel like I feel like it's all a domino effect. You know, like one part here gets hindered, and then everything else kind of falls apart. You know.
Well, don't we all kind of do that in life, right? And that's why I said Microsoft for them at that point, and still trying to get this deal finished up, all hands on deck for that. And we do the same, you know, thing. If something major's happening, we forego all the other little things we were working on for a minute while we handle this one big thing, and then we go back to our micromanaging all the other things. And I think the ABK deal is their big, you know, thing that they have to focus on, which thank God is almost over, because I really just don't want anyone to have to spend any more time really covering the ABK deal after like 18 months of it.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I see there's a comment. I'm trying to show it. It says another moderator just handled this, but now I can't see it. It's like not... Did somebody hide it? Huh. Sorry, Punty. My bad. Anyway, I forget who my moderators are for this channel. I need to look at that. What was I gonna say? I'm thoroughly excited. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, I apologize because of the comment. But it's not even a bad comment. But anyway, I'm thoroughly excited to see what GeForce Now has in store. But one thing that they kind of have a habit of doing, and I get it, they're trying to keep up the energy and the hype level for the platform, and they want people to stay subscribed and all of that, and I get that. It's marketing and social media. But the one thing that I kind of hate that they're making a habit of is like, oh, we got some stuff for you guys, and then it ends up being a dry like time, you know? Mm-hmm. And I get it, things fall through, things don't always work out, you're not in control of everything, but I just kind of wish they were a little bit more careful of that kind of stuff, you know? Because now because you've already announced that all of these games from the Microsoft Store are coming, and from Steam and Activision, blah blah blah. When that's done, like, so when you're saying you have some surprises in store for the month of August, it's, you know, you already know, all of us in the community that are cloud gamers or that are subscribed to GeForce Now, you know, that are like all around platform, you know, gamers, you know, what have you. We're frothing at the mouth here, okay? Like. Right. You should have just...
It's the same as Xbox fans, because for the past 7 years, everyone has heard, you know, it's coming, we're investing, the games are coming. And really, that came to a boiling point this year around the Redfall time and that type of stuff, where people just decided we're not waiting anymore. You either start delivering or we're out. And that's just kind of been the message. And I think sometimes people feel that way with Cloud or with GeForce Now, because you hear things and then it doesn't happen. And some examples, which, because I praise the service like crazy, still my favorite, almost the only cloud I still cover, but I think that the EA partnership has never been as good as what it should have been. A partnership with EA should mean new games that come to GeForce Now. We still don't have Need for Speed Unbound and many other games. I just think, you know, that's just never came to fruition in a way that I feel like it should. I feel like a lot of people are still waiting for the EA games. With Microsoft games, we heard we're getting all the Xbox games, and their goal was to put every single first-party game onto GFN by the end of the year. And I don't know if there's going to be big chunks to come or not, but right now we haven't seen enough of a flow to tell us they're going to meet those kind of goals. However, we do, I think, and this is with no inside information, I feel like, remember recently we got that PC Gamepass announcement for GFN? So all of PC Gamepass is coming to GFN, just like the other launchers. So if you're subscribed to Gamepass Ultimate, you're going to be able to play every one of those games, almost all the Microsoft ones anyway, maybe some
the ones available
on GFN. So, but that came after we got the announcement about the Microsoft games. So I feel like there was a change in plan, because I also feel like Xbox is changing their cloud plan altogether. And now they're going to be leaning on GFN. So I think instead of just saying, hey, we're going to give you Xbox games, they're like, you know what, we're giving you PC Game Pass. Yeah. So I think they changed mid down the road, and that kind of forced the GFN team and Microsoft to kind of change how they're forming GFN. Because bringing
I can see that.
GFN's a lot different than bringing individual games onto the service. And if they decided to do that halfway through, that would explain why we've been so long on the Xbox games, and then why we got that PC Game Pass announcement. And again, no inside info, but I feel like that has to start in September, because I feel like Starfield has to be the first day and date Microsoft release on GFN if they want to be taken seriously. Yeah. And there's no reason why it shouldn't be, because we're supposed to start getting day and date Xbox games, PC games on GFN. And Starfield is the game you want to start that with. You want to market that, you want to start it that way, and you want GFN's 4080 tier to be the place to play Starfield.
Yeah. I agree.
Because that game's going to be very hard to run. It's going to be a power sucker. It's going to kill CPU. It's going to be a very difficult game. And so to have that on their day and date would be huge. Starfield's probably one of the biggest games to come out since Cyberpunk.
Man, Starfield. We'll get into that in a second. That's
segueing us. Take it.
That's so you want to get into Starfield?
I got us right in.
you want to get to Starfield now? All right, cool. All right, so let's
try. Took us from GFN into Starfield. I don't know.
True. Starfield on GeForce Now with the RTX 4080 tier is gonna be insane. Starfield on GeForce Now with the RTX 5080 tier, when the next upgrade happens, is gonna be insane.
Yeah.
4K, like, well, it's Starfield, so let's be realistic here. 111 frames per second. Hopefully.
Starfield's big issue is going to be CPU. But the good thing there is GFN built very decent balanced systems. So they're not like a lot of cloud where you go in and you have a weak drive or weak RAM speeds, or the CPU's weak but the GPU's great, so only certain games play well. That's not what they built, and it's an all-around good system that can handle the GPU intensive stuff too. So I'll be super interested to see how something like Starfield's going to be handled there.
Man, some of the games that be hitting like 4K 232 frames per second. I'm like, what in the hell? I love you, GeForce Now. It's so crazy.
And then you hit some other crazy game that's optimized like crap and it runs at like 33 FPS even on a 4080. So it's like, come on, guys. And that's not GFN's fault. That's the game's.
Like let's optimize our games. Oh my god, this generation and optimization, I swear. Optimization is the word of this generation, in my opinion, or lack thereof. Yeah. So transitioning into Starfield, Starfield is less than a month away. I can't believe that shit. It feels like my birthday is like almost here. I think we all kind of feel that way. Like our birthday is about to hit, and it's gonna be glorious. So two things that I wanted to cover as far as Starfield goes. One is, oh god, I just cannot wait to dive into this mother effing game. And two, I don't even know. Starfield just makes my brain melt. I want the game to be here already. But the first bit of news that we got the other day was that Starfield is now officially Xbox Play Anywhere. And for those of you watching, if you don't know what Xbox Play Anywhere means, is if you purchase it on Xbox or PC, it's available anywhere on any platform that the game is available. You don't have to buy it again. Your progress is cross-save everywhere, and you don't have to worry about that. And I think that makes sense, especially for first-party titles. And it makes sense for a game like this where Xbox and Bethesda know that people are just gonna constantly want to spend time in this. You know what I mean? Like, even if I don't have my controller with me and all I have is my phone, even though I hate touch controls, I'm gonna be in there, like, at least to just check something out of
manage the inventory, harvest some crops or something, some one of the easy medial tasks on one of the planets you colonize.
Edit my ship, check on my girlfriend, don't tell my wife, but my space girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like, space wifey.
Starfield girl.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Jojo says, my Starfield prediction is it's gonna be a messy on release. I'm thinking Fallout 76 messy. I hope not, but it's Bethesda. Honestly, I think all of us know that that's going to happen, and we're just gonna truck right through the bugs.
So,
like,
I think that it's gonna be probably one of the more polished Bethesda games to come out because of the amount of time spent and weight put on it, like everyone kind of knows. So that doesn't mean it's going to be bug free. I think it will be charmingly buggy, but not broken game, like bad, like Cyberpunk kind of buggy where people just like kind of demolish the game. I don't think it's going to be that.
Maybe
it'll have some jank to it.
Maybe it's some jank, some junky,
some Bethesda jank to it.
Gonna have some thick ass jank, some thick. Anyway, maybe in the chat said ships should. Wow, can't talk. chip construction on mobile might be really convenient. And I agree to that because I've been wanting for them to release like a side companion app, like whether on console, PC, whatever, to like manage our ship, you know, or whatever. Kind of like how you have the Halo companion app, which sucks nowadays. For the Halo games or the current Halo game that comes out, it's supposed to be that way. Nobody use that app right now. The last I checked, it's not updated.
Destiny used to do the best job with the companion app. Destiny, you could go in and swap your inventory, and on your TV screen in the game, it would already change instantly. Whatever you did in the app, they had a great companion app.
Now, what I would like is if they gave us a companion app that felt like it was in the game of Starfield. So like we're not like, you can't customize your character. That's something you got to do in game. But like you can look at your inventory. You know what I mean? You can look at your you can check out your ship. You can look at like a camera view inside of your ship just for fun. I'm just just spitballing here. You know, just different things like that. It would be cool because, and I think of that because, you know, if for those of you that are getting the special edition with the watch, it would be sick to have an app that goes with the watch. You know what I mean? And not maybe just controls the watch, but like something that goes side by side with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think it would be an awesome idea. I think that if it happens, it'll just like maybe down the road. And the thing is, the way Starfield's built is like it's extremely resource heavy, and it has a lot to do, like to remember. Like every object is, well, almost every object you can save them, you can interact with them, you can pick them up, and they're not just like repeat images or repeat objects in the game. Each one is an individual object that has to remember its placement in the world every time you move it on whatever planet. Like in theory, no matter what planet you visit for your entirety of your life that you're playing that game, whatever you move somewhere is always going to stay that way. Like you're going to affect everything. So an app will be very difficult to integrate into the world of Starfield depending on how they want to do it. Just because of the complexities of the game and its mechanics.
Yo, shout out to G Maybe for subbing to the channel. Thank you so much, fam. Greatly appreciated. Support of any kind is always welcome. As long as you're here hanging out, chilling, having a good time, that's all that matters to me. All right. So what was the other thing I wanted to say about Starfield? So yeah, play Xbox Play Anywhere. That's just like, I mean, duh. If you think about it, I mean, because Xbox already kind of operates that way anyway, but to just kind of have that stamp there confirms it, you know, for everyone wondering in the community, like, well, you know, like, is this going to be different on Xbox than on PC and da-da-da-da-da? But for Xbox to solidify to, but like if you're putting the game on Xbox, PC, and cloud, of course the shit is going to be cohesive and the same, right? But to say that it's literally Xbox Play Anywhere, that's just like, that was just a boost that you know, a little extra boost that was good for the community. I thought it was nice. With Starfield being less than a month away, what Mr. Tech Planet, what type of character are you going to create? And I'm kind of smiling, because every time I hear people in different podcasts get asked this question, everybody wants to be like an outlaw and a pickpocketer and, you know, like just steal everybody's ships and sandwiches and shit.
Yeah, that's everyone's thing, right? Pirate it up and, you know, do all the crazy shit.
Yeah. So what kind of, I mean, obviously it can change over time. And I think that's the beauty of a game like this is you're meant to play it for a long time, but you're meant to let you and your character that you create evolve over time.
Exactly.
So obviously what we all want to start with might not be what we end up being a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You know what I mean?
So to start the game, where do you see yourself trying to go, or beginning with, I guess? I'm trying to find the right way to ask that.
Yeah, I've seen a ton about Starfield's character creation, but I don't know. I feel like I need to get into it and learn a lot more about what's there.
Like the traits
like
and shit.
Yeah, I feel like there's just so much we haven't seen. But I mean, if I'm just saying, like, as in general, I'm not, and JoJo would know, I'm not the type to go against law or, you know, something like that. Like, I would probably be on the side of like the like, say, lawman, or you know, you could be like a space law person, or you could be or I would lean heavily on the explorer side of things, but you know, probably wouldn't be stealing from anyone or anything like that. But it's just because I play life very morally, and I also play my video games very morally, depending on what I'm playing. And if it's an extension of me, then I'm probably going to go down a fairly light path in a game. But that's not to say it's always the case, because Assassin's Creed Black Flag is one of my favorite games, and you pirate everyone and kill everyone and steal everything, and it's amazing. So there are exceptions to that rule. But with Starfield, I feel like that's a character that's an extension of myself, so it'll probably take some fairly high moral ground, at least in the beginning. Now, the game may tick me off. I don't know what's going to happen down the road. Like you said, may change. May all of a sudden say, forget this one day and just start stealing everything.
Yeah. I like, okay, so for me, I kind of want to toe the line. Like a Spike Spiegel type of outlaw bounty hunter, but still like deep down is a good guy, but has like a background that is a mystery it's in itself, you know? I've really thought about this. But that's kind of like how I want to do it. So I kind of like that for me, because it allows me to, at different times, live both sides. You know what I mean? But when it comes to, as us nerds like to say, the dark side, I don't want to lean into that too heavy, you know what I mean? But I want to be able to have conflict. I want my character to struggle in certain aspects, you know? And when I go see my parents, like my mom scolds me, and then I gotta go talk to my dad, and my dad doesn't say a word, and that's usually like the worst fucking thing ever, you know? So I think we're enough time into the show where I can drop F-bombs. Huh?
I don't want parents in the game.
I kind of want that. I kind of want that trait. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was kind of cool, because I want to see how deep that can kind of go.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I want to have at least two different characters.
It's going to be interesting because Starfield is such a, you know, it's a single.
So you want to be Peter Quill?
Hey, you can't go wrong with that.
Yes, JoJo. I do. Sorry, continue, Game Tech.
But being a single player game, sometimes it's harder for me to get as invested in the characters, only because I'm not ever going to play with that character with somebody else online or interact in a way that it's going to affect anybody else. But as far as the single player game goes, it'll be fine. But it's just a little bit, I don't know, it's a little bit different for me. I love single player campaign games, but this game is so massive and so big, I am going to kind of wish it had an online social element to it.
Yeah.
But I'm an MMO person, you know, I come from just constant online and, you know, World of Warcraft back in the day and all of that kind of stuff. So when I'm in a big, massive like game like that I'm going to play for 5 or 10 years or something, I don't know, it's a little better for me if it's like connected, but that's all right. I'm sure that if Starfield was at all online, it would be one pile of a mess when it came out. So it's gonna be the one good thing going for this thing is it is a single player game with no not necessarily needing an online aspect. So
yeah,
got its goods and bads.
Starfield Online is going to come. There's no way that you build a universe like this and you don't bring it eventually in some form. Do I think for the stability of the single player game that you do it like Elder Scrolls Online and you have a completely separate game? Yes. And so that's why I believe Starfield Online will come, because you have Elder Scrolls Online. And Elder Scrolls Online needs an update. And I don't mean a DLC. I mean, like, we need an ESO number 2 eventually.
Right.
So, and I feel like to take place of that would be a Starfield Online. But that's like,
yeah,
I don't even want to think about. I don't even want to think about that right now. The only thing I care about that I think would be really cool. So you know how on ships you can like meet people. You obviously within the story can, you know, the people you meet, you can add them as your crew if you want to. But then when you explore the galaxy, you can meet other people and add them to your crew. It would be cool if, like, next year in an update or a DLC or something, if we could co-op with at least one to two other people. I think that would be awesome. I don't need a full online experience, but at least give us like 1 to 2 people we can party with.
Right.
You know?
So you're talking, it'd be more like a Dying Light thing. You don't have an online hub. You
Yeah.
don't have people showing up online just playing next to you for no reason, but you just have the people who you've grouped up with that are playing in your world, because it would probably be one of those situations where they would come into your game and maybe they keep their items, but nothing else is going to carry save over to their account to kind of keep things safe that way. They did that with Gotham Knights. They kind of kept that a little bit separate. So if you're playing with someone, you kept your experience in the items, but when you went back to your game, it was your story, your everything. So it didn't get convoluted and messed up. So I could see that.
Yeah. Before we move on to the next topic, one more question I wanted to ask, because this was on my mind the other day about Starfield. One thing I wanted to say is, in the trailer, one of the planets that they showed had a lot of like lightning going on. I just want to say, I want to find that planet. I don't know which planet that was. I'm gonna find out. But when every time I rewatch like the gameplay trailer and the deep dive and all of that, I see that planet briefly, and I'm like, the way the scenery looks, I gotta find that planet. I got it. So I just want to get that out there.
But the amount of procedurally generated stuff on planets, you got to wonder how close you will find. Like, it'll be different variations of all of that. I think people are gonna have so much fun with the screenshots and the amount of landscapes and scenery in this game. There's gonna be planets you want to just go chill at. You know, you sit there for like a half hour after work, you do whatever. I think it's gonna be some beautiful landscapes. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. JoJo set pieces that are built, but
yeah. I'm excited for the procedurally generated stuff, especially because, like, if you and I go to the same planet, it's not going to be the same experience.
Right.
Like, you and I could like live stream, right? And we're going to be like, all right, we'll both go to this same planet. And when we land, it's not going to be the same experience. We could land in the same exact spot and it's not the same experience. That's going to be crazy to look at when watching, you know, other people's gameplay on YouTube and whatnot, and like Twitch and Kick and all of that, to see, like, you know, those of us that do end up traversing to some of the same areas, what are our different experiences? I think that's gonna be wild, you know. I guess that was the question I wanted to ask, is like, how do you think it's gonna be for everyone once they start exploring the universe, you know?
Right. Now, one of the questions that I had about the game, and I don't know if it's been answered anywhere about the procedurally generated stuff, is once I visit a planet and everything's been generated, does it stay that way? Or when I leave and come back, does it procedurally generate differently on the same planet? Or does it only keep things if I build a colony there, in which case maybe then it does save everything so that when you return it's the same? That's something that I've not seen anyone talk about. Like, with the procedurally generated stuff and over 1,000 planets, and like you said, you're going to have your solar systems and all that. You can fly to the same planet. Is it going to generate for me once and then stay that way for my life of the game, or is it going to do different things? Because it'll be confusing to go to the same planet and have it change every time. So I'm kind of hoping, at least if it's a planet I've built a colony on, it doesn't change and regenerate.
Cool. Just sharing the... Oh, Pixel Slappa's here. Wipes feet. Hello, folks. Oh, dang. I left the mat out. And Pixel Slapper shows up and uses it? Dang. That's an off-white mat, just so you know. No, I'm kidding. Yo, what up, Pixel Slapper? Much love. Dude, I'm so glad Punty's still here. I didn't think... I thought Punty had to head out. Hell yeah. Did you watch... Punty says... Excuse me, everybody. Did you watch those 3 videos Bethesda released for Starfield? On one of... Damn, I hate this thing on mobile. One of them is called The Settled System. Yes. Which one was that one? Which one was The Settled System? Do you know Game Tech?
No, I don't think I saw it, which is surprising.
Yeah, I gotta... See, I've watched the deep dive video, like the 50 minute video they did, like 50 times, and I still need to watch it again because there's things I'm not catching. Because I'm just like, every time the video goes on, like I either get distracted or I'm in awe. Or I get distracted and then I just listen to the audio. You know what I mean? Because I'm like trying to just take it all in again. The 3
videos I was watching.
Sorry to cut you off. Yes, I did watch the 3 videos. He's talking about the three animated shorts that Bethesda released. Did you watch those? I watched those.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
I
I thought The Settled System was like a place. We're talking about the animated shorts. Okay, yes, I did see those, and those are fucking amazing. Did you see those shorts, Game Tech Planet?
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, they were good. I'm hoping they do more.
Yeah, me too. It gave me, obviously not in the same style, but it gave me like Cyberpunk Edge Runner vibes, for the mere fact that you're expanding this new game franchise into other mediums. And anime, always
it's a quality way to expand the lore and the universe to everybody. I loved the Cyberpunk show as well, and I think these were good. But like I said, I'd like to see more, or but they're probably more focused on getting this game out.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll get more. And I love these because, and I said this in another podcast recently. I think it was Xbox International Podcast. Shout out to Xbox International Podcast. Silent Cypher's in the chat. Let's get it. Oh my god, I just lost my train of thought. Wow. What was the last thing you said? And it'll trigger me. You said
just finished the anime.
Thank you. I love lore. I'm all about lore. Like, if anybody knows me, I love Marvel, I love DC, I love Star Wars, and I love The Expanse. I love the TV show The Foundation. I love lore. I love Dune. You know what I'm saying? So give me more that exposes me to the utter lore of this universe, of this time period, of how we got to this time period. It's like the Matrix. I want to know everything that I can. That's why I watched the Animatrix. You know what I mean? I just needed to know as much as I could. Unfortunately, I didn't get to read, some of the comics and whatnot. But for Starfield, once they put out these shorts, I was like, oh yeah, yes, expand the world. You know what I mean? All we know so far is we have a character, they meet these people, you can join some factions, and then there's this universe to explore. But what are the other stories within that universe that we might never get to experience because our character might not come across those particular characters within the game? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Lore that's easily digestible, which is like an anime or a show or YouTube videos that kind of pull you into that. Because like you said, a lot of people that play the games either miss pieces of lore along the way. Maybe they didn't explore everywhere, or maybe they're short on time and they can't digest it in the game as quickly or as easily as they can elsewhere. So I think stuff like that is important. I know Destiny 2 is another one, Destiny in general, with a ton of lore, but a lot of it you really had to go dig for and find yourself. And then, luckily a lot of people started making YouTube videos and stuff, but that was a tough game to pull the lore out of for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before I forget, everybody hit subscribe, hit that like button, turn on them notifications, you know, hit that bell and all that good stuff. Also, I would like everybody to know that one of the reasons I transferred the podcast back to my personal channel is I recently got approved for memberships and whatnot, and you know, super chats and all that stuff has been there. And you know, if you'd like to send in super chats, if you don't, it's fine, whatever. Just being here is support. It's enough for me. But I did get activated for memberships. Woo, cool. There's only one tier. It's $2. It's a loyalty tier. It's to just support the channel. What I would like to do over time is to add a secondary tier where I can offer more to everyone that's subscribed and everyone that watches and give back to the community. You know, do some giveaways in the future and whatnot. You know, like how other creators do. But for right now, there's only one tier. You know, I am busy with work and my family, but it will help me be able to do this a whole lot more. But like I said, just hitting that subscribe and that like button is enough for me at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day. But yeah, just wanted to let everybody know, if you'd like to join, you know, Planet Dusty Nation, commies look out, you know, go ahead, jump on in. But if not, just be in the chat, let yourself be known, and let's keep it going. All right, cool. I'm gonna make that smoother in the future. Anyway, so let's actually, speaking of the chat, we have a few messages. Let's catch up just a little bit. Silent Cypher says, I haven't watched anything for it besides that 50-minute showcase. Silent Cypher, please watch these animated shorts. They're really good, bro. Don't feel like they advertised those new ones really. They kind of shadow drop them and kind of are letting people find them and letting it spread word like on its own, you know, word of mouth. Let's see. Haha, the power of Starfield compels you. The power of Starfield compels you. Pixel Slapper says, Starfield is on every gamer's mind. I wonder why. Silent Cypher asks, how is the Expanse? I bought it, but I haven't played it yet. Oh, that's good to know. Please play it. I'd like to know how it is. I haven't purchased the game yet. When I mentioned the Expanse, I was talking about the TV show because I'm a huge fan of the show, and I've been trying to tell people, if you want to get ready for Starfield and you're having a difficult time coping with yourself, not being able to wait for the game to drop, watch the Expanse. Okay? Watch some Cowboy Bebop. Okay? Get yourselves ready. All right? Anyway, moving on. Let's see. G maybe says, lore is very important for certain titles. Overwatch used to have so much potential, and then they shoved it into a rug. Oh, they shoved it under a rug. Yeah, they did.
They did.
Do you want to comment on that real quick, Game Tech?
No, just that they did. It's a shame.
Yeah, it's
Overwatch
yeah.
is all but dead now.
I was never an Overwatch player, but even I had friends that played it, and I feel like I watched their sadness from the distance, you know, just take over them. Like,
yeah, what's sad is I paid for Overwatch before on 2 platforms, and they basically took that away and gave us the crap we have now. And yeah, I haven't touched it since like 2 weeks after the original, like the relaunch Overwatch 2.
oh man. Oh, shout out to Silent Cypher for becoming the first ever member to the Dusty Nation. I gotta come up with a better name. Thank you so much, brother, for joining. Wow. Awesome. I think that's the first member. I gotta check. By the way, where do I go to like see all like the different notifications, like when people subscribe and stuff? Because like, or do I need to get Botrix for that so the chat can update itself? Yeah, I need to do that, don't I? Need to get Botrix for the chat. Damn. All right. Anyway, because my phone's not telling me like who all the recent subscribers are. Jojo Narok says, the Dust Bowl? Yes. The Dust... Wow, I just got it. I'm so... Wow, the Dust Bowl. That's a dad joke if I've ever read one. Wow, the Dust Bowl. I'm going to consider that because I like it. The Dust Bowl is solid, Silent Cypher says. Let's see. We got 10 people watching right now. That is a new record for us. We've hit 10 viewers on the stream. Don't forget to share this out with everybody and like and subscribe. Punty says, Cowboy Bebop was my life. I hope you watched not just the series, but the movie also. Didn't know there was a movie till a long time after I watched the series. Yeah, actually, thank you for reminding me. I have seen the movie. Wait. I need to search. There's a movie? Have I seen the movie? Am I mistaking it for something else? I'm gonna have to do some research, Punty. Thank you. Thank you for that. Accolades to Silent the Dust Bowl. Let's see. Cowboy Bebop was my life. Yeah, I love Cowboy Bebop. I it's absolutely like one of my all-time, if not all-time favorite anime. I just like, I was even rewatching it the other day. Like I got the Crunchyroll for 75 days from the Xbox perks or whatever the other day, and so I've been rewatching like some Cowboy Bebop. Thank you. Shout out to Microsoft and Xbox for the perks, for the monthly perks. You guys are awesome for that. All right, let's keep it going. Starfield, gonna be amazing. Yeah. Who is doing early access? Let me know in the chat. And who is moving to New Zealand? If you know what I mean, let me know in the chat. The Dust Bunnies. No, not the Dust Bunnies. Wow. Not the, that's like, I gotta like put like a robe on and be on like my Hugh Hefner shit, you know? And like, you know, the Dust Bunnies, and like play some like sexy jazz music. I don't know. Early access for show. I'm gonna get that for show.
Yeah,
all right.
That's a definite.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, so let's get into the next topic. New Game Pass games for the month of August. We got, what was it? 5 games? Yeah, right?
5.
Oh, well, 5 that were announced so far in that batch. Let me open up
the first half.
Yeah, let me open up my photos really quick. 1 second.
So do this one, then in 2 weeks we'll get another announcement for the second half. So.
Yeah, and we'll probably sometimes we'll get like some extra, you know, we'll get some extra editions and whatnot. Like Celeste came back to Game Pass. I thought that was pretty cool. Which is good for me because I didn't play it the first time around, so I actually want to now. And somebody was talking it up on one of their, man, I need to remember who is in whose videos and who talks up what. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
I think it was Jay Wood's video. So the 5 games that we got coming are all cloud, PC, and console, for the exception that one of them is only next-gen console, okay? And that is Short Hike, Airborne Kingdom, which I saw some gameplay of. That looks very intriguing to me, by the way. Broforce Forever. I wish that came first. I want to play that right now. I've never played it before. I didn't know how long it's been out. That looks so good. We'll get into that one in a second. Limbo. And then finally we have Everspace 2 finally coming, which that is the game which is coming to... Oh, it's not on PC. It's only cloud and next-gen console. It'll be there eventually. Yeah, we know. But for right now, it'll just be cloud and next-gen console. These are your 5 games so far for the month of August that were dropped the other day. Game Tech Planet, speak to the people. Let them know. Which game are you looking forward to the most out of this group of games?
Well, to start off August, it's a little weak for me, but I love side-scroller shoot-'em-up type. So Broforce Forever is going to be perfect for like the cloud. I'm not going to worry about messing with, I'm just going to stream it because those kind of games stream super easily, no problem. So definitely going to check that out. And I don't know, Everspace 2, I had my eye on before on PC, but I never pulled the trigger. So this is free essentially with my subscription. So Everspace 2 on the Series X is the other one I would check out.
Yeah, me too. I've been waiting for Everspace 2. I was happy when we first found out that that was coming. Who said it? Jojo
Limbo I
Narok said
played
it's
before. It's good.
yeah. Jojo Narok said it's on Everspace 2 is on PC already, and I believe that's
Is
right.
it already?
Yeah.
See, I don't use Game Pass on my PC a lot. That's why I want them to come to GFN, because like with content, I don't have a lot of space and I don't install a lot of games.
Yeah.
You know, I've got like 5 terabytes of videos, so it's So I like when things are on the cloud and I can stream them.
Broforce Forever. I can't wait. Like that's a game that's meant for like, especially like something like an Ally or a Steam Deck or my phone, with a with the Kishi and whatnot. And then Everspace 2. Limbo is a good game, but and as well as the other one, Jesus Christ, what was the name of it? Short Hike. But Airborne Kingdom looks very intriguing, and it's kind of sparked my intrigue the same way Wandering Village did, which me and my wife played a little bit the other day, and so far we're enjoying it. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, Wandering Village, I really don't know how much we've gotten through yet. I can't even tell you, but we were playing a little bit together, and I really like it. I like the aesthetic. I like the music, although I did turn it off and put on like my own lo-fi hip-hop in the background. But I really enjoy Wandering Village, so once I saw Airborne Kingdom and I saw the gameplay, I think it was today or yesterday, I was like, okay, this is a game I should try. And that's the beauty of Game Pass. I know we all keep saying it, but that is the absolute beauty of Game Pass. Trying games that you never really would have before because simply they're right there in front of you. Just like Netflix, watching content you never would have seen before because it's right there in front of you, you know?
Yeah. I think Game Pass has helped kind of change the indie game landscape a little bit. I mean, their ID whole program has been really good for indie games, but then with the invention of Game Pass and everything coming along, I think that's been a big boost for a lot of indie game developers to be able, because that's guaranteed income. You get to put your game on Game, you're getting paid. And back in the day, pre-Game Pass, pre-subscription times, if these games came out, unless you just had a ton of disposable income, none of us were buying games like Broforce and whatnot. We're buying the AAA games mostly and playing them. A lot of people wouldn't spend money on the indie titles. So Game Pass, I think, is helping to bring us better and better indie games because the developers have a place to put those and make a profit. And I think it makes them feel like making the game. I don't really see any other platforms besides Steam on PC that support indie developers so much. You basically have Steam on PC and you have Xbox as far as like mega support to the indie developers.
Whatever happened to that PlayStation PC app? You know, like the app, not the PS Plus app. The old PS Now app, but the actual like the Xbox PC app. Like that PC app.
It's
like, what happened?
I mean, it's mostly non-existent. I know they were supposed to be making something because they even eventually want their own storefront. So like instead of putting their games on Steam, Sony wanted to actually have their whole own app like Xbox has, on PC. I think they backed away from that. Their apps are atrocious. What they have now.
Yeah. Good grief.
Sony's so far behind on PC and mobile apps and on cloud and other things. They are killing it on console sales and some of their first party games, but I don't think they're quite as strong right now as they used to be. But
I would agree with that. Yeah. And the thing is,
go ahead to use my PS5 because there's just not enough. And I can say the same about Xbox, but the difference is the subscription service there. I do tend to play a lot more games, and because of PC, a lot of my saves are on both. It just kind of works together for me. With PlayStation, I always have that console for the exclusives, and while there have been some great games, I think that Microsoft and Sony have not done that great in the first 3 years or so of these generation consoles for content. And I know everyone says pandemic and all that, but I don't care. I'm saying first 3 years of the consoles, other than some real banger, there have been a couple great games. I don't think it's been that amazing. I was thinking about it tonight, and I was like, the first 3 years of this generation, while I love the hardware and stuff, I'm not not necessarily blown away like I was with my Xbox 360, my PS2, my PS3.
Yeah, it feels like there's moments, but there's not a consistent.
There's not a steady momentum.
You know,
and these days we move so fast that moment is a week.
Yeah. Or like something really good happens, the next day something very stupid happens, and it's just like, well, here we go again, you know. I don't know. This generation has been very interesting. You know, excuse me one second. PlayStation lost. But this generation has just been very interesting. I do want to love PlayStation, I really do. I said it in the last episode. You want me to buy a PS5? Fire Jim Ryan. You want me to buy a PS4 Pro for the time being? Fire Jim Ryan. That's just how I feel. Like, until, you know, I don't even buy a controller for that same very reason. I'm not going to spend $70 on a freaking.
Oh, that's always one thing
DualSense.
I've respected from you. Even if you want to play a game like hey, I got my PS5 because I had to play Spider-Man. That was my biggest thing originally.
And I respect that. And I respect that.
But that said, I'm not great at speaking with my wallet. I tend to just buy what I want to play and do what I want. I've always respected the fact that you have the resilience to hold on to that and say, you know, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm not going to buy that thing or play that certain game if I'm just not happy with everything going on around it. And I think that that's commendable. It's not easy to do.
Yeah.
It's much easier to go buy the PlayStation 5 and play the game. It's much harder not to.
Yeah.
I take the easy way out.
Yeah, I know.
I play the games.
Now, trust me, I wish I was like you, where I could easily do that. But the thing is, even if I easily could, you know, speaking, that I still couldn't let myself. But that's just me. Like, you know, you have a PS5, Boom has a PS5, other people have a PS5, and I think that's great. You know, Ho Scorpion has a PlayStation. Like, I think that's great. You know, but and so, like, for me, it's like, if people want to buy a PS5 because they want to play those games, dude, please, by all means. That is why I still have the PS Plus PC app. You know, maybe I'm not playing PS5 games, but I am playing the games that I didn't get to play that I do want to play. But that's as far as I'm going right now. You know what I'm saying? Right. You get $17 from me, and that's about it. You know, but like, if people want to play it, like, it's all the power to them, all the respect to them. Like, it's never been anything, you know, negative like that. Like, oh, you play on PS5? Ugh. Like it's never been like that. It's just kind of like, you think you're better because you play on PS5? Ugh. That's the difference.
Yeah, that's a fanboy situation, but that's the Xbox, the PS, you know, the Sonys, whatever, the ponies, and all this and that, and you even have Nintendo hardcores, which we won't even get into those people. Yeah, but I have them all. I mean, I've got my Switch, Ally, Steam Deck, PS5, 2 Xboxes, and 2 PCs sitting right here within arm's reach of me doing this podcast. I love all the gaming stuff. I personally hate what every single one of these companies does out in public and behind doors. Can't stand most of these corporations. But I only get to live once. I love gaming. I don't do much else besides work and do gaming stuff, so it's all here. But like you, I don't care if someone wants to not buy stuff or does want to buy stuff, want to play games, don't want to play the games, doesn't really matter. As long as you're not ridiculing somebody else for what they want to do, we're all good.
Agreed. Bars. Spitting facts. Preach. Let's catch up on the chat really quick. Silent Cypher says, oh, the Wave Riders. Good one, Silent. G Maybe says, where did Cypher's ideas go? They were there now, they're just dust in the wind. I see what you did there, G Maybe. I see what you did. GTP doesn't like it. Sorry, G Maybe. Silent Cypher said he culled them. Jojo Narok says, Wandering Village and Airborne Kingdom basically the same game though. Whatever, player. I see what you're doing there. Pixel Slapper says, I'm trying to get my workers building without picking the bushes on I'm trying to get my workers building without picking the bushes on wandering. Oh, it's an obscure achievement. Jojo Narok says, yeah, I would have never played Loop Hero without Game Pass. I really like that game. You're not the only person I've seen say that. Yeah, Loop Hero has been another one that people have said. I look at it and I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. But then I always keep going back and looking at it. So I feel like eventually I'm going to try it. And G maybe says, same for him with Loop Hero. Surprisingly fun. Loop Hero's got so many vampires on... Loop Hero's got so many vampires on my run. G maybe says Atomic Heart DLC has me interested. Interesting. I have not played that yet. Because I'm not really good at single player narrative games. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to be better at them. Okay.
You're just talking about Starfield. You better get good at single player narrative.
That's different. That's different. That's sci-fi. That's an open galaxy with 1,000 planets.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this.
Definitely a lot different than Atomic.
Yeah, very. Jojo Narok says Demon Souls pulled me to the PS5. Interesting. Pixel Slap is you too? Demon Souls?
No, not me. Just freaking his Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Elder everything.
Elder Souls.
So good at them damn games, man. And I suffer. Like I love it. Like Elden Ring, I got like good because of Jojo. Like I got stuff and it was fun for a while, but like I don't know. He's just good at that shit. And I'm not.
Jojo Narok says you won't piss off any Nintendo fanboys. They're at a cosplay convention. Is there really a Oh yeah. Damn it. Oh, which reminds me. Let me know in the chat. Who's looking former? Wow. I always do this. Who is looking forward to Armor Core 6?
It looks sick though. It looks really good.
Yeah. So somebody correct me in the chat. 9-player co-op, or is it no? It's 6-player co-op, 3 people spectating, or 7-player co-op, 2 people spectating. I don't know what it is. All I know is it's mechs. I'm in. Let's get it. Are you looking forward to that, GT?
Yeah, I wasn't. And then I saw an Asmongold reaction video to it, watching some of the new gameplay and stuff. And yeah, it actually looks really good. I'm a sucker for mechs anyway. I used to play Hawken. I don't know if you played that before on Xbox.
Yes, I got that on Steam or Epic. I can't remember, but I have it, yeah.
Yeah, they had it on Xbox. I played it a good bit because I was trying to scratch the Titanfall itch when that didn't keep going so well. But yeah, I love the mech stuff, so I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Nice. Awesome. All right, let's keep it moving forward, shall we, brother? Oh, wait. Moving. Oh, wait. No, I'll ask that later. Let's get to our next topic, or next several topics. We'll kind of batch them together a little bit. This has been a great discussion so far. Thank you for being here, brother. Make sure everybody subscribe to Game Tech Planet. Make yourself known in the chat, brother, so everybody can see who you are. I already put your link in the chat, but go ahead and say hi to everyone. Final Fantasy XIV coming to Xbox in spring 2024. And along with that news, we hear that Xbox at Gamescom is not only going to be huge, but is going to be displaying 3-hour live streams over the course of 3 days. 3 separate streams for 3 hours per stream over 3 days. Featuring the likes of Forza Motorsport, Stalker 2, and everything else coming. Supposedly, Starfield is not playable at the event, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, let's talk about Final Fantasy. Finally, Final Fantasy XIV Online is coming to Xbox. Finally.
Yeah.
And not to get disrespectful. But we saw a lot of some people on the blue side crying, and that's fine. Let them cry. Okay. Some of us have friends on the blue side that know how to contain themselves and just act like normal gamers. So, you know, there you go. That's my piece on that. But the Xbox community just like got relifted. Like we weren't already on cloud nine, so to speak, you know, from everything that's just been going on, you know, and just hoping for this ABK deal to close, you know, any second now. But then we get this news on top of like news, on top of news, on top of news. You know what I'm saying? I haven't played Final Fantasy XIV online yet. So I'm actually looking forward to this. Mr. Tech Planet, sir. What was your reaction the moment you saw this news? Because I lost my shit.
I saw a lot of videos of people really losing it over fantasy coming over online coming over to Xbox, which was awesome to see the excitement. I certainly wasn't expecting it.
Neither was I. Neither was I.
Necessarily, because I mean, we know Sony has been, you know, especially with some Square Enix stuff, trying to keep some exclusivity going on and paying for that, and that is what it is. Everybody does that. So I didn't really expect it to come over. I mean, I dabbled in it a long time ago. I believe on PC. I don't think I messed with it on PlayStation. It's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. I'm assuming it's going to be like the same game, so I'm assuming there's going to be like a crossover for players, because being a subscription based game, meaning it's not most likely going to be covered in Game Pass or anything. You're going to have to sub monthly, just like you do World of Warcraft, or just like you do the game already on PC or PlayStation. So I don't know how many people are really going to be jumping into it. I'm super excited that it's coming. I know a lot of people are going to get into it and play it, but it is going to be a sub-based MMO on a console next-gen only that is suffering in sales. So it'll be interesting to see what the player base for Xbox is like. But it's an awesome title to come over.
Pixel Slapper says Final Fantasy XIV is to attract the Eastern market. Let's be real. Well, I mean that. Right. I mean, honestly, that may be true, and I wouldn't disagree with that, to be honest. But it's also it's to attract the Eastern market, obviously, because we want to build that more and more. But at the same time, I feel like this is also a love letter to all of the gamers that have been just hoping and wishing for specific Final Fantasy games to be on this platform, to be on our platform, to be on Xbox, you know. And I do agree with Jojo Narak. You know, I would be excited as hell as fuck to finally get Final Fantasy VII remake, rebirth, reborn, revitalized, you know, recycled, reused, just anyway. Sorry if you don't know the recycling song from back in the day. I'm too old for you. So I just feel like this was a love letter. And to go off of what you said about how a lot of people online were showing their emotions for this news, one person in particular, I just wanted to shout out to him real quick, Ginger Prime. He's the one whose clip is now over like 1 million views or something like that. Shout out to Ginger Prime. Much respect to you, brother. Like, I didn't know who Ginger Prime was before I saw the clip, right? And I'll admit, you know, like once he started crying, I was kind of like taken aback. I was like, I kind of laughed for a second, but I could easily tell like that this really meant something. And it was easy for me to put two and two together that watching Phil Spencer walk out, he instantly knew what that could mean. And the rest, just like the rest of us, instantly only knew what that could mean, right? But then for me to find out right after I saw the clip that this is a man who has been advocating for this to happen for years.
Yes, he's been very invested in this, and
like
that is why he was so emotional over it, because when you're that invested for years trying to help make something happen in a community and it happens, all of those years of working on that are going to come out at once. So, he that's just his raw natural reaction after something like that.
Yeah, like, especially because, and I don't know, I would have to look into it. I don't know if there's more backstory to this part of it, but like, nobody expected Phil Spencer to walk out. So I doubt Ginger expected Phil to walk out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that was the last thing on his mind. But obviously every Final Fantasy event or every year, or every time a game is announced, that he's obviously hoping that, something comes to Xbox, and nothing happens, right?
I'm surprised they kept it on the DL as long as they
Nobody
did.
knew. And I hadn't even seen anybody say that somebody knew,
Right. No. But the only inkling was, and it was before the Final Fantasy 16 exclusivity announcement with Sony, there was grumblings that Microsoft might be getting the next Final Fantasy because there's some rumor that they're working with Square Enix. And that's all we ever heard of it. And then when exclusivity came out for 16, everyone stopped talking about it. They're like, well, it must have just been a rumor. Well, that rumor was most likely Xbox working with Square Enix to get Final Fantasy 14 online, not Final Fantasy 16. So that was the only inkling ever that I saw that there was something going on, and we all dismissed it after the Final Fantasy 16 announcement. So yeah, I was just surprised. I was like, really? No one? We always know. Twitter always knows. There's always a leak, and I was surprised. I was really surprised. That happened. And exclusivity for Final Fantasy 16 is what, like a year? So we're talking like a year after release, it'll hit Xbox. Like they're going to be ready to roll. So
yeah. I'm excited for what this means going forward. I'm glad there's a new CEO at Squeenix, as some friends said earlier. I'm glad that there's a new relationship or being reestablished, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what you want to see in the gaming industry. Like, everybody's just kind of working together to, push all of everything that the gaming industry is forward. And then what the gaming industry is obviously advancement in hardware, software, technology, but the community that buys into it, because there would be none of this if it wasn't for us being here investing in it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like, you can say all, these companies just look out for themselves and they just want money and da-da-da-da-da. But I like investing into the companies that genuinely try to actually seem like they care about
you can do
the
both,
consumer,
Yeah, you can. I have what, essentially two businesses with construction and YouTube. Construction being the bigger one I've done all my life. And while my motivation is obviously profit, because that's what I need, I also actually care about each person's house I work on. That's where they live. That's where their family grows up. So you can do both. And these bigger corporations that maybe don't have a lot of soul, like you said, if they can at least put out the image that they care about their consumer who spends money on them, it doesn't really matter if you're also a piece of crap. That's just the way it goes. It depends on the image you put off to your consumer, though.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's why you feel better about giving Microsoft your money for games than you do Sony, because even though both corporations equal bad, one of them at least attempts to care about what the consumer wants. That is my image. That's how I see it anyways. And I think for the past 7 years, Microsoft has been the most forward-thinking in gaming, out of anyone. They're more forward-thinking than Nintendo or Sony right now, who those two Japanese companies are very much traditional in their, crappy apps, no cloud, console-only concept, where Xbox really just wants to be everywhere.
Yeah. It's like, if you're going to steal my money, at least make me feel good about it,
Look, our money's getting stolen from us every single day, one way or another. Just at least make me feel decent about it.
Yeah, at least give me a happy ending. Hey-o!
Exactly.
But yeah, no, investing investing into Xbox just feels normal, you know, but investing into the other side feels like I'm signing my life away to Verizon Wireless. Oh wait, I already did that last month. Dang. No. But yeah, this is going to be exciting times. Like the next 5 years alone, you know, the next 2 years alone are just going to be an interesting viewing party, if you will, of the gaming industry, you know. Shout out to RSJ fan in the chat. What did you say?
And we'll probably get more consoles. So
yeah,
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So I was on, for those of you that don't know, for the first time ever, I achieved a bucket list of mine, or one thing off of my bucket list, and that was finally being a guest on Double Barrel Gaming's channel, Mr. Boomstick XL. I was a guest on his show last week on Thursday for XVlog Live. Shout out to Silent Cypher. All he did was mention my name once, and that's all he needed to do. And from there, everything just kind of happened. But one thing that Boom had mentioned on his show that we were talking about was his idea of what the next console could be. And his idea was to do a Xbox handheld, a Series S handheld, undocked, that when docked, performs like a Series X. And when he first mentioned this, I think it was like maybe 2 weeks ago, at first I was kind of like iffy about the idea, but then as he kept talking about it, I was like, damn, that would actually be really freaking dope. Because then I kind of like started picturing the Logitech GCLOUD, and like if you just kind of like, you know, altered that a little bit, like what that would look like. And now I'm like fully sold on that idea. I would love to have a mid-gen refresh where it's like a Switch-like device, but it's an Xbox handheld device. I would love that. I think that would be awesome. With that being said, not so much what do you think about that idea, but what do you think? Let me put it to you this way. Do you think Xbox was being truthful when they said they don't have a mid-gen refresh planned? And do you think they're going to respond now that PlayStation has revealed that they are coming out with a mid-gen refresh? Mind you, I did say that the Series S Black is technically a mid-gen refresh, at least for the Series S, technically. So, well, you know,
there's
what is your take?
In design, but then there's also a mid-gen refresh like Pro and One X, right? Like, there's a difference. So are we talking, you know, yeah, I could see a bit of a refresh on designs and things like that. I think there is a chance that Xbox might be a little bit truthful about the whole mid-gen upgrade, though. I think the PS5 Pro, if it comes out when they say, it'll be next year, like next holiday, 2024. So I don't think we get an Xbox next year. A new Xbox. I am also not convinced we need new consoles. I think there's a lot they can still do with the Series X. I think the Series S has caused a few little bit of hiccups here and there. I think 2026, 2027. I see our console generations used to be 5 years ish. Back in the 90s, 80s. I mean, most of the time consoles were a 5-year lifespan. Now people are like, oh, 7 years, 10 years. No. I mean, I'm more like phones and everything else. I don't care if you want to give me a new hardware every 2 years. I mean, PCs upgrade every 6 months to 18 months, depending on what you're upgrading. I'm just the kind of person I could care less. I'll take a new Xbox every 12 months. It doesn't really matter to me. I don't think they'll do that. I think we just see the next iteration like Xbox Series X2 or something like that. And I think it comes 1 to 3 years after the PS5 Pro. I think there's going to be a performance gap for a little while that's going to hurt. I think Sony's going to lean hard on the specs of the Pro and become the world's most powerful console for a while. And I think that marketing's going to hit really hard for a little bit.
Oh, Twitter's going to have a field day with that one.
It could happen if Xbox doesn't do a mid-gen refresh. If they hold out and say, okay, 6 years, right? That's a console generation. If 2026 they launch a Series X2, a next generation console, that's not a refresh, that's a new generation.
Facts.
And that will mean Sony has had a mid refresh out, like a Pro, for like 2 years at that point. So that would be concerning if the two companies have very different plans in that aspect, and that's how it works out.
Yeah.
Because Sony will lean very hard on that marketing of the most powerful console in the world.
Yeah, I know. And not only will they lean into the marketing, but Blue Side Twitter will lean into it.
Yeah, you won't be able to go on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I won't care. I mean,
I think it's funny.
Who knows if the
find it funny.
developers will even use the power? They haven't even fully used everything we have now.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Hold on
And
a
they
second.
also want to push 8K gaming. Ain't nobody buying 8K TVs next year. Sorry, I'm a big TV buff. I'm all in home theater. I have thousands of dollars in home theater equipment.
Like, are you trying to future-proof
I don't
people?
even
What are
have
you
8K.
doing right now? Well, but I mean, but then again, and correct me if I'm wrong, when the One X and One S came out, they were capable of 4K 60, right? But not
right.
everyone had a 4K 60 TV yet.
The 1S?
Can do 4K 60, believe it or not.
Yeah. I bought a 1S on launch day and a 4K TV on launch day for that Xbox. Like, that was my first 4K TV.
I remember selling some, yeah. I was working at Target
Mhm.
at the time. I remember that, yeah.
And then the 1X came out and it blew away my 1S as far as like graphical power, texture. I mean, it looked crazy good on my 4K compared to the 1S. Like, that was a mid-gen refresh. Like, that was a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 1X is still looks better than some games on the 1S. I can pull them up. Like, thing's got a lot more GPU beef.
Yeah. Yeah. Now my daughter has the 1S, and I have the Series S. She doesn't game as much as I do, so that's
See,
why I gave her the
Microsoft
1S.
doesn't have really a dog in the fight, if you would say, because Sony sells TVs and they want 8K to take off. They want to replace all these 4K TVs out here. They want to sell TVs just like they did before. So of course they want to. Sony's most successful product is PlayStation. That's you can watch a lot of videos on it. Part of the reason why Sony even still exists is the income from PlayStation, not from other avenues, and that's a big part of where they make their money. And that product can push their TVs. Like, people will buy a new TV to go with that new console. Not by a lot, but by enough.
Do you think that Sony has planned? I mean, the answer is an obvious yes, most likely. But for the people that are able to spend higher, do you think that Sony has 8K TVs planned around the same time that the Pro comes out?
I think that you'll start to see more availability and some price dropping of 8K TVs by next fall, like a year from this fall.
Bro, the wife and I
with a continued
got a
decline.
4K
Hey, I
TV.
just got an OLED for it. Look, I wanted an OLED for years. I finally got one this year, and
now
that's
we're
great.
talking
I'm not
about
gonna upgrade
8K.
anytime. But I don't. But 8K gaming, even a PS5 Pro, you got to convince me. I know how hard it is to push pixels. I know how hard 4K still is for 4080, 4090. So you got to prove to me that not only the power of that console is there for 8K gaming, but that devs will even be able to use it, and that it won't be like 8K 25 to 35 FPS.
Like,
I just am not convinced yet.
If I have to really look to see the difference between 4K and 8K, 8K is not worth it to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
if you're not going 75 inches or higher, 8K is not going to be something you can differentiate between 4K very well. Just human eye, depending on
Good
the size
point.
of your room.
That is a good point.
It comes in the size. 8K displays really should be for the higher end, 75 and up to 100, 110. 4K at 65 inches at 6 feet away, you will not see a single pixel on the screen. You'll see just a flush, perfectly smooth image. So it depends on where you're sitting, how big your room is, and the size of your TV. But you don't need a 55 or 65 inch 8K TV.
Yeah. Circling back to Final Fantasy 14. So now that we know that Xbox's Gamescom showcases or presence, I should say, at Gamescom is going to be huge, massive, bigger than it's ever been, apparently. Do you think, going into the topic of Gamescom now, first thing to start with, do you think that that Square Enix will follow up this news from FF14 Fest at Gamescom with Microsoft? Like, even if it's just something small, like, but just like, you know, just to reiterate, like, yeah, Final Fantasy 14's coming. Yeah.
I think you might see more Final Fantasy 14 stuff, but I don't think you'll see anything else Square Enix related.
Got you. Okay, cool.
Because they're going to focus, I think they'll only focus on that release till spring before they really announce anything else from them. So, yeah, but I think you'll see, I think that'll probably make a showing.
For Gamescom, what is the one thing that you want to see over anything else? Like, obviously, we as, you know, people who enjoy the green side, you know, we want to see it all, and we want it all to be good. But what is something specifically you're either hoping to... Actually, no. What's one thing you're hoping to see, and what's one thing that has been announced that you're looking forward to seeing? That's a better way.
Well, I'm a Forza Motorsport fan, so I am looking forward to a bit more on that game. Because I'm definitely looking forward to that. Starfield and Forza are my two big ones for this year, so I'd like to see more on that. But in general, I think during the Game Fest, like in June, when we had what I call it a pretty good Xbox showcase, still was lacking. Like, I thought Hellblade's trailer was horrible. Like, there was no gameplay. It was kind of odd. It didn't show a lot. I mean, I know some people liked it and stuff. I don't know. It didn't. I want to see some of those games that are supposed to come out in 2024. I wouldn't mind just seeing a little bit more of those that we didn't get to see during Games Fest.
Lacking is the word I would use for
like,
the trailer.
Hellblade,
but yeah,
because that game is supposed to come out, you know, next year, and I know they have a lot more done than what they showed us, and I know they're kind of holding the cards close to their chest, but like, that didn't show me anything that made me want to play the game at all.
Shout out to Stephen H in the chat. We need more good games and fast. They're going to start making games with AI. That fast.
Hey,
well, I kind of need them to slow down.
The state of gaming right now, Jesus. I'm not sure if AI is a negativity yet. Okay, if AI can optimize, you know, and go through code faster and figure things out faster than a lot of the human beings can, I'm all for it. I don't want AI doing everything, but we need something, and I think AI could be the answer to game optimization.
Yeah, they need to make 4K a standard, he says. Shout out to Stephen H in the chat. Thank you for stopping through and giving your opinion. Always appreciate it. That's what I love and enjoy. Open discussion without people ripping each other's heads off. I mean, sometimes it can get a little heated, but if you can find your way back to, you know, back to center, you know, and align yourself, your chi, all will be right. The hell am I talking about? Drink some tea and or miso soup. That's always my recommendation. If you're ever feeling like disgruntled, just have a bowl of miso soup. What? Sorry, continue? Or was that...
Yep.
Okay, cool. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Where the hell is Replaced?
MIA?
I know. From what I understand, they're working on it, and, you know, whatever. And that's fine. Yes, Stephen H. Yes, Stephen H. Don't forget to hit subscribe, give a like, turn on them notifications, share this stream out with your friends. And also, memberships are now active. All right. But yes, miso soup is amazing. Where the hell is Replaced? Like, there are so many great games coming, and I'm over here sitting like, where's Replaced? Like, I feel so alone. I'm in a corner by myself. Like, there might as well be a meme out there for me. You know, but in all seriousness, because I know Replace is coming when it comes, I'm looking forward to Forza Motorsport. Because I, growing up, loved competition style racer games. You know what I'm saying? Like Forza Horizon 5 is a lot of fun, but I can't take it seriously as a genuine like racer head-to-head game. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, it's a totally
and it's not
different
meant.
feel. It's a
yeah,
different
exactly.
Experience. Yeah.
But I love that game. So
Oh, yeah.
when Motorsport got announced, and then all the features and everything, I just was like, oh my god, why do we have to wait for this game? Please bring it now. It's coming in October, and I'm just like, oh, I want it now. At least.
Well, it's our first next-gen only racer.
Yeah.
From them as well, because Horizon 5 was last consoles and current consoles.
Yes, and this one is
So
going to
it'll
be
be
next gen only. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently they really reworked this thing from the ground up, and that's why I've, as much as I've been into Starfield, that's why like when you asked about Gamescom, I'm like, well, Forza is kind of what I want to see more of, because we're talking like in-game ray tracing and stuff, and now you pique my interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna look gorgeous. Because I played Gran Turismo 7 on PlayStation 5, and I know a lot of people love that game, but I was personally disappointed with the visuals in it, and maybe because I was playing Horizon 5, I don't know. But I think the new Forza Motorsport is gonna knock it out of the park.
The only people I've heard really like the recent GT. Yeah, you know, we don't need to talk about that. Anyway, cool. So,
This is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm absolutely like, I just can't wait to get my hands on it. You know, customize like different cars and everything, and just really try to genuinely actually be good at the game, because I've been waiting a long time for a really good racer game that like I can get into at launch with other people and really try to actually like get good at it and not feel like I'm behind on like, you know, like how people understand the game and everything and the mechanics of it. Before the game comes out, I do want to try to play a little bit of Motorsport 7, just to get into the feeling of it. I know it's going to be a completely different game from what I've understand. I mean, it'll still be Forza, obviously, but
Structure-wise, it'll be similar.
Yeah.
Like, you know, structure and mechanic of the game, but yeah, it's going to be obviously a lot different, but yet I'm sure a lot of the structure of the game is going to be similar. And I played a lot of Forza Motorsport 7. It was really good.
Pixel Slapper says, wait, no disrespect for Forza Horizon 5. I'm still in the top 300, only 32 million players. Damn!
Yeah.
No disrespect for Forza Horizon 5 at all. I love that game. Photo mode in that game is like my best friend. Shout out to Gormez. He's in the Discord. Make sure you guys, you know, I posted the link. Let me know if you want me to run that link again. But shout out to Gormez. He's like the boss at photo mode in Forza Horizon 5 in our Discord. Like, he shares some amazing shots. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I love Forza Horizon 5. I loved Forza Horizon 4. I have both of them, obviously. And not just because of Game Pass. Like, I have both of them. Yeah, I'm super excited for Motorsport. And what I'm hoping to see at Gamescom is replaced.
I don't think you're going to see it till next year.
Damn you, GTP.
I know, maybe, but I think what happened is there was a lot of hype when that trailer came out, and a lot of people were excited for it. And I think they kind of went back to just take time to maybe become a little bit even more ambitious and work on the game more. I think you might see it next year, and maybe it comes out next year, but it might be even like a 2025. I know they do that with a lot of games where all of a sudden they're like, man, people are really interested in this. Let's go work another year or two on it so that, you know, when it comes out, you know,
Yeah.
people really enjoy it. So I don't know. I could see that being the case.
Yeah. Right. There was one more thing before we head out about Gamescom. Oh, so they announced that over the course of 3 days, they are having three separate streams that are 3 hours each. That's insane. Like, I mean, I get it. They're going to be spending a lot of time, you know, with certain games, like doing deep dives and all of that stuff and whatnot. But that's insane, because Xbox and Microsoft knows that we're like, as I said earlier, frothing at the mouth, like, you know, about like what's coming around the corner. And not just the games we know, but the games we don't know. And on top of that, not just the games we know, but the games that we know that are supposed to be coming to Game Pass soon, but we're waiting for something to finish. So, you know, it's like, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? So that's what I'll do. I'll end with this. For Gamescom, do you see the ABK deal finishing before Gamescom?
What was the date on that?
There are 2 separate dates within this month. One, I believe, is either the 9th or the 10th.
20.
And then the other date might be the...
Okay, Gamescom's technically from the 23rd to the 27th. It's going to be... wow.
It's going to be very tight. It's going to be very butt tight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, are they having something prepped in case? Are they not? I mean, because you couldn't make it last minute. So I don't know. Don't know if we're going to see anything that has to do with that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, let's see. Let's see what the chat is saying right now. They planned on Jojo says, shout out to Jojo Narok. If anybody's in the chat right now, subscribe to Jojo Narok. Great streamer over there. He says they planned on showing it, but that slot got replaced. Wow.
Okay.
Wow. I see what you did there. I see. He's really good. He's really good with those. Especially because I'm reading it normal and then I don't get it until I get to the end of the sentence. Damn it. And then Pixel Slappa says, I've heard about Game Pass. Is it any good? I mean, it's all right. I mean, you know, I've known about it for like about a month. You know, it's still in beta. You know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You should probably tell your friends. Let's see. Punty050 says that we oh, they're talking about freaking football. I'm talking about Mbappe and all of that stuff. I haven't been keeping up with any of it. So I would hope that the ABK deal closes before Gamescom, because I think that would be for as the kids say, lit, or as I say, lit like a bic, you know?
Yeah, and Call of Duty's to be revealed in August, or it's released this year, so...
Yeah.
I have a feeling there's a lot of things in limbo right now.
Which reminds me, thank you, GeForce, for telling me that the in-game overlay is active. How do I want to ask this? No, I'll save that question for another time. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is Gamescom is going to be huge. It's going to be exciting. I know me, myself, I'm going to do my best to watch every single bit of it. You know, I haven't really looked at my schedule, but if I can stream any part of Gamescom, I will do so. Or maybe I can try to get on a podcast. Who knows? Or maybe I'll hold my own podcast episode for Gamescom, and we can get a few guests going on that. We'll see what happens. But I'm excited. I hope the deal closes, you know, before, because that would be, you know, awesome. I agree with you, GT. I feel like Microsoft already has something in place just in case the deal can close beforehand. And then obviously, if not, they just have their regularly scheduled program. I feel like everything going forward right now until the deal is closed, they have like 2 versions of, you know, the same itinerary, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I need to, speaking of Call of Duty, I need to finally get into Infinite Warfare. I finally have it. It's in my possession. I just need to start the damn game. I haven't never played it before. I always wanted to, and now I finally get the chance. So I'm super excited about that.
The campaign's awesome.
Yeah, everyone has been telling me. Everyone I mentioned it to, they're like, dude, the campaign's dope.
Yeah, Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, let's get it. Like when I saw bits and pieces of it, I was like, damn, this is kind of like how Starship Troopers should have looked. Dang.
It was like one of the Call of Duties where they completely destroyed multiplayer, but campaign was like on point, like really good campaign.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I'm excited. Yeah, I finished the Modern Warfare 2 campaign. I was proud of myself because, like I said,
Nice.
single player story. ADHD kicks in and it's like Jesus, you know. Sorry, Jesus, but but I'm excited to get into Infinite Warfare. I also noticed that I have Modern Warfare 2019 in my library, which I don't ever remember purchasing that, but I have it apparently. So I guess maybe I'll play that campaign too. Might as well, since I did Modern Warfare 2. But yeah. Before we get to the outros, let's see what the chat says. Main still into as I said, sorry, catching up with Hunty. No, you're good, Pixel. Pixel Slap it says Jeff is silent. I wonder why has Xbox put him on NDA. Jeff as in Jeff Keighley? Jeff Keighley? Is that why you spelled it that way?
All is quiet on the
all is quiet on the Western Front. Yeah, Jeff Keighley has been kind of quiet. I know, I've noticed he's been posting like snippets of like things here and there that has been happening like from recent news. But yeah, he hasn't been his loud self lately. That is interesting. Yeah, Pixel Slap it says Jeff Keighley. Yeah, that is interesting. What do you think about that, GT?
Same reason probably why I don't post on stuff. I just get too busy. So he's probably very busy getting ready for everything. He just doesn't literally have time to follow everything and post everything like he might on an off time. But I'm sure as we get closer, like watch second week of August, or when we get 21st, watch for some tweets to start flowing out.
No, I'm with Pixel. I think he's under NDA. I think Xbox finally got to him. I think Xbox said, look, if you ever do what you did to Forza again, we got you.
It could be.
And he said, all right, I got. Pixel Slap is right. He got. Well, that's going to do it for this episode, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Over time, the structure of this show will improve. It will grow. We will get more guests on here. But for the early stages, I just want to say how thankful I am for everybody that has stopped through so far. Thank you so much, Silent Cypher, for becoming a member, for joining the club. Thank you so much, GTP, for being here. Please let everybody know where they can find you on the socials and on YouTube.
Yeah, simple enough. On YouTube, just search for GameTech Planet or at GameTech Planet, and same thing on Twitter at GameTech Planet. You'll find me.
Awesome. And make sure everybody subscribe to his channel and be on the lookout for his video dropping tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. PST or PDT, whichever one you want to say, on GameTech Planet, GeForce Now news. We're going to finally see what's going on for the month of August. Wow. For the month of August on GeForce Now. And 9 hours to go. And I think
it's not even done yet.
And I gotta let GameTech go so he can finish his video.
I gotta go finish.
Right.
Almost midnight here.
I know. And that's part of the reason why I started this podcast sooner rather than starting it at 7 p.m. rather than 8 p.m. PST is because for people like you, a lot of my gaming friends happen to be either like Central or East Coast. It drives me nuts. So, I'm trying to accommodate you guys as best as I can, but I'm a Cali boy here.
Oh, okay? Thank you, Westy.
I'm trying to give you guys my sunshine, you know what I'm saying? But everybody can catch me on the socials at the Dusty Uno. Same thing right here on YouTube at the Dusty Uno. Same thing on Threads. And until next time, as always, whether you catch the replay or you catch the live, hit subscribe, give a like, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace, everybody.